Hey class, it's me. So I'm gonna respond and with a little video here to Carol. I think Vicky's gonna help me. And so Carol hit on a lot of really good points. And mainly what she's done is she said, well, what are people gonna do in the classroom, or what do people do in the classroom? And that's really what T.R. Johnson's talking about in School Sucks. And so this morning I spent maybe half hour or so looking for an essay I wrote in about 2004. And basically it was shortly after T.R. Johnson wrote his article. I witnessed an experience when one of my fellow teachers was like running down the hallway, like, I got him. And he was waving the student's essay, and the student had plagiarized. And so I wrote a response, just sort of a response to my take on what happened and what I saw, because T.R. Johnson's article was fresh in my mind. And so I was thinking, well, what's he mean? He has them. What's he doing? Is school and is writing a witch hunt? Are we as teachers of writing supposed to lead these lives where we're looking for errors, we're looking for wrongdoing, we're looking to punish people, we're looking to tell people that they're no good, and we're looking to fix people? And that's not a happy life. It's not happy at all. And so in that, are we expecting students to produce broken things for us? And so are we like diagnosing broken objects and handing out remedies? And the answer should be no. We're not looking to hand out remedies. We're not inoculating our students with good writing. If writing were that easy, computers would be grading it, computers would be assigning it right now. But what computers are helping us do is find that writing is a way of placing our thinking in a linguistic or in a textual form. And in doing so, we're coming, like we talked about this last week, we're coming to really realize that we know what we know. And given that, writing is a lot more complex. That's why sometimes when students write an essay, they get to that last page or that last paragraph or that last sentence, and they've gotten down to the issue. They've drilled down, to that bit of common evidence, or that common idea that they can then share with their audience, discuss with their audience, and whatever, expose or exploit. So writing is this vehicle for thinking. And so when we think about it, if we are to think of writing as, or writing instruction as a form of discipline, as a form of remedy, as a repair service even, we're not doing it a service. We're really discrediting writing, and we're really hurting writing. And it's discipline and punish. There's power relations. We can put Foucault wherever we want in this. And the students, it's like, well, no, they don't want to write another essay. They don't want to have a professor bleed red ink all over another essay. Yet they have to do it. Yet they have to keep submitting if they're going to stay in the system, and if they're going to be productive parts of the system, then they have to keep submitting in these ways to this punishment. And you think about it, it's like, thank you, sir, may I have another? Thank you, sir, may I have another? But by doing this, we're not talking about writing as a mode of thought. We're not talking about writing as a vehicle for communication. We're talking about it as something that can be corrected. And that's not fair. So, we can come back to what Carol said, and it's like, well, how do we tap into the creative process, right? And really, in assigning writing, there's a huge process. Um, and there is a time when it's going to have to be corrected. And when is that? When do you step in? When do you encourage students? When do you tell them to go for it? And then when do you step in and steer them in certain ways? And, I think maybe there are times where faculty have classes, to go back to what Carol said, and from day one, they're correcting and they're steering, to the last day. That's not fair. But then there are faculty where everything's collaborative and joyful. That's not fair. So there has to be a middle ground somewhere. And where is that middle ground? And, not just talking about those types of structure, but talking a little bit just about methodology. We know the lectures going away. So how do we balance things like lectures and group work and activities in writing to make sure there's a good balance? Because we know the research shows that students learn the most when they're engaged in multiple ways. So what are those multiple ways? And I'd like to follow up what Carol said, and we can talk about methods and methodologies in class, and I think it would be a really interesting discussion if we could talk about methods and methodologies of writing that we've experienced. So we have Johnson's article. So have we lived lives that Johnson talks about? I don't know. I have. So what are those experiences, and what are we going to do when we teach writing? What's Vicky going to do? And so I'd like to hear about our teaching assignments. How do they fit in to Johnson's claims? And then like I don't remember, Eric talked about the metaphor. We need to talk about the metaphor. Where is that metaphor going? I don't know. Is it accurate? Is it apt? What background knowledge should we share to really sustain that metaphor? Yeah, that's what I said.